Hello, my name is Shelby Easley-McPherson, and today I will be giving a pre-concert talk over Giovanni Battista Sammartini's Symphony in C minor. Before moving on, it is important to note that we are talking about Giovanni Sammartini rather than his brother Giuseppe Sammartini. Giovanni Battista Sammartini is a well-known Italian composer who composed upwards of 70 symphonies throughout his lifetime. And Giovanni Sammartini lived quite a long life. He lived to be 75 years old, which was quite remarkable in the time period that he lived in. For most of his life, he lived in Milan, and Milan is in the northern part of Italy. I would like to talk about the history of early public concert life before speaking about the symphony itself. Prior to the 18th century, to be able to hear a concert, one had to be invited to an aristocratic gathering or a dinner party or a church service to be able to hear a concert. But moving into the 18th century, people could now, if they could afford it, they could purchase a ticket and go hear a public concert in specific places. Speaking about the early symphony in Milan, the concerts took place at the Milan Cathedral. Patrons could purchase a ticket to go hear these concerts at the Milan Cathedral. And the cathedral was used as a concert venue. Even if the works had nothing to do with church or with a service, the church just provided a venue. There were a variety of works fit into these concerts. Unlike today, in today's symphonies, we hear a very carefully programmed concert, and it was just not that way in the 18th century. Sammartini was working in the center of Milan as the maestro de capelle, or the person who was in charge of the orchestra. Moving on to speaking about his symphony. His symphony used a very simple instrumentation. He only used strings and harpsichord. This symphony is very short. It almost doesn't seem like a symphony, it just seems like a short quartet, but it is a symphony. We do hear three movements: a fast movement, a slow movement, and then once again a fast movement. This fast, slow, fast pattern of movements is quite prevalent in the 18th century. A lot of symphonies are written this way. We are not exactly sure when this piece was written. Some scholars believe that it was sometime between 1730 and 1750. They do believe this was one of Sammartini's earlier works that he wrote. Speaking about the movements themselves, Movement 1 is written in sonata form. We hear a clear exposition, a development, and a recapitulation. Right from the get-go, we hear the use of chromaticism and sequences. This movement starts off in C minor. It shortly after modulates to E flat major, then goes to the dominant of our home C minor key, which it goes to G major and then back to C minor. Movement 2, is also titled Affettuoso, features many suspensions. Listening to this movement, you can hear the feelings of love, warmth, fondness, and passion in this movement. This movement reminds me very much of many of Corelli's works, because those are feelings that are evoked when you listen to those movements, or listen to those pieces from Corelli and then listen to this movement. This particular movement is in E flat major. Moving on, Movement 3 is in a fast triple time. It goes by very quickly and has this fast-paced momentum that is highlighted by Sammartini's use of fast triplets in a marked style. Lastly, Sammartini's works were forgotten after his death and were not rediscovered until the year 1913. Thankfully, they were rediscovered, and we can listen to his works today and be able to analyze them.